But Harry and old Meghan, you know, it's good for the goose, I guess.
God love them. Well, I tell you what, Trey Parker and Matt Stone cashed up.
It's important we do this ourselves, Harry, and not live off your family.
I agree. We'll just have to find a way to make £50 billion on our own.
I'm sick of hearing about them, but I can't get away from them. They're everywhere, in my face. Look, Kyle, we just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid...
Apparently, Meghan Markle is now on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Okay, she's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar.
And look, South Park is known for satire and for mocking people. No one is safe. This isn't the first time they've done an episode on the royal family, but this particular episode was quite scathing and the grains of truth that it held. And I'm not sure how the Sussexes are taking it. Obviously, it is a cartoon.
And she's going, what are you writing about? I said, she's given this interview to Harper's Bazaar magazine.
I'm sorry, I'm just really stressed. We're completely out of money.
Maybe it's time we dip into your fortune from Suits.
There is no fortune from Suits.
They will sell anything about their privacy, and yet they'll fight privacy battle after privacy battle.
That is just what's happened overnight with this extraordinary cover feature on Harper's Bazaar with Meghan Markle.
Poke fun at Harry, but that a joke on Saturday Night Live was actually funny, more mildly amusing at least. How do you think you'll handle that sort of mockery?
Democrats are people that lean in a certain way, and it's actually Martin Short and Steve Martin that kicked the door open on Saturday.
All right, huge disclaimer, we are not reading the entire Bazaar article because it was bizarre, and honestly, Meghan Markle is just, let me think about it, Delulu with the capital D.
I don't care. Don't care.
What the hell?
What did you just say? He victimized me. It's because I'm an ethnic woman.
He can't do that. I'll say, wait, you're ethnic? This is an outrage. There's this horrible spy who lives across the street from us, and we're gonna get him back by changing our brand.
Is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Meghan Markle sold her soul to the devil to get a cover, not on Vogue, which is the one that she wanted, but on Harper's Bazaar. Oh, bizarre.
Meghan's buying it, Kosher, and I don't think there's much on the inside. There's talk that the royals are going to sue over this episode now. Would you recommend they do that, Kosher?
Meghan Markle, and to no one's surprise, it is the exact same stories and sound bites and tidbits.
This woman looks to me like a malignant narcissist. This woman has zero self-awareness.
Meghan Markle, okay, she was British royalty. Meghan Markle was as high as you could get in British society and basically global society. I mean, we just saw they had a massive state dinner at Windsor Castle.
Can't sue a cartoon. It's satire. It is what it is. South Park has done episodes on the royal family, on the royal wedding of Kate and William, for instance. So it's not something that they would be able to sue about. And I genuinely just don't believe it.
Everything Meghan Markle put together this month was meant to look perfect. The Harper's Bazaar shoot, the dramatic lighting, the soft makeup, the slow, elegant poses. This was her planned return.
By the magazine editor that wanted to turn you into a star, that in their cover feature...
The interview was crafted like a polished fairy tale, presenting her as someone struggling to win back her voice, her truth, and her place in the public eye.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
For a moment, it looked like her new story might work. Then South Park caught it. Within days, the writers turned her Harper's Bazaar interview into one of their sharpest and coldest parodies in years.
Why are there so many people in our car?
It's not a car, Harry, it's a bus.
And why does it smell?
We're going to work, Harry, because HGTV canceled our show and we need money.
You can't get work acting, so now you're teaching it, which kind of makes sense and kind of doesn't.
They didn't just target her words, they went after the entire I'm Reborn image she tried to sell. They pulled apart the dramatic mood, the forced importance, the overly poetic style, and the serious tone of the interview.
Meghan Markle, they've just learned the hardest of lessons, which is, if you start a brawl, do not be surprised if you end up getting punched twice as hard. In fact, South Park has just knocked them out.
And the worst part was that millions agreed with every joke. People close to Meghan say she completely broke down, feeling blindsided, embarrassed, betrayed by the media, and stunned that one simple interview turned into worldwide ridicule.
They nailed it! They nailed it!
Her team tried to calm her, but the damage spread faster than any PR plan could handle. And this was only the start, because South Park went after something Meghan never thought anyone would notice.
Hello all! Sorry we're late, our flight was delayed.
It was mint, though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
South Park doesn't strike at random. They go after moments that feel exaggerated, overly polished, or simply asking to be mocked. Meghan's Harper's Bazaar interview fit all of that. It wasn't a normal celebrity feature. It felt like a staged performance pretending to be journalism.
It is the exact same stories and sound bites and tidbits that she has said at least 3 other times. There is not one single new anecdote in this interview, if you can believe it. I have read it, skimmed over it very quickly.
The writer used language that felt more like a prophecy than an interview, painting Meghan as a misunderstood icon, a modern princess moving through a harsh world that failed to recognize her brilliance.
Hey.
Did you know it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Must be an American thing.
It's not.
But wait, watch this. Amazing, right? This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment, so.
Yes, an apartment palace, I know that.
One line became the main target. Meghan is the true voice of modern royalty. It spread online instantly, with people debating it, mocking it, screenshotting it, and turning it into a meme.
We're going to dig into this one today because she is out there. She's cover girl now, Harper's Bazaar.
Some called it embarrassing PR roleplay. Others called it a self-coronation. The South Park writers saw the online reaction and realized the internet was already laughing. All they had to do was complete the joke.
I have to get jobs. I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
Yeah.
The Harper's Bazaar photoshoot caught their attention too. The blank expression, the strange dramatic lighting, the stiff posing meant to look royal but feeling empty. The creators took those same elements and pushed them further until they became pure comedy.
Let me grab this part.
Fuck.
Ooh, sorry. That's all he says.
Stop.
The South Park team understood something Meghan didn't. When you push too hard to look iconic, you turn into a parody before the joke even airs. Even before South Park animated a single frame, the Harper's Bazaar interview was already drifting into controversy. People expected glamour, confidence, maybe even maturity. Instead, the styling felt off, like Meghan was posing in a world that didn't match reality.
I thought we were moving forward, Meghan.
Well, we're not.
Dad, do you have any cash for a cab? Oh, look. Grandma's on the money. I never noticed that before.
The photos were unusually dark, her expression distant, almost lost. Instead of seeing a reborn woman, people saw someone stuck in a role she created. Then the interview came out, and it only made things worse. The heavy metaphors, the poetic monologue, the self-mythology. It all felt too forced for someone who said she wanted a quiet life.
No, the place would be on fire. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they're going to go after a cartoon and try to sue a cartoon tells you all you need to know. They've gone after every person and their dog, every celebrity, everyone in history.
Readers quickly noticed the contradiction. How could someone ask for privacy while releasing yet another magazine story centered on her own emotional journey? One moment in the article became a flashpoint. The writer described Meghan entering a restaurant as if she were stepping into a royal drama. That single line sparked thousands of comments. People said it sounded like a fan fiction version of her life, and others joked the writer must have been working off a PR script. And right when the debate hit its peak, another issue surfaced. A small detail buried halfway through the interview that hinted at a planned rebranding effort. South Park picked it up immediately. When their episode, inspired by Meghan's Harper's Bazaar, comeback finally aired, the internet exploded. This wasn't a soft poke, it was a full hit. They recreated her dramatic poses, the exaggerated sad eyes, the slow, heavy breathing, and mocked the follow me poetic tone by giving her lines that sounded like inspirational quotes gone wrong.
Oh, God damn it, now the prince is playing polo on the lawn!
We are here because privacy is a basic human right. How many more princes and his wives have to live in this nightmare?
One of the sharpest jokes came when the cartoon Meghan gave a speech about wanting privacy, while a spotlight followed her everywhere. Each time she said she wanted to be left alone, another camera appeared behind her. Viewers immediately linked it to how her real interviews always seem to appear right after she says she's tired of public attention.
Down with the motorhead. We deserve our pride.
Another scene mocked the Harper's Bazaar photo shoot directly. South Park showed Meghan standing in dramatic wind, wearing a dress almost identical to the magazine cover, while reporters tried to guess if she was posing for a crown she never received. Fans posted side-by-side comparisons, showing how accurate and harsh the parody was.
I think my boundaries have become stronger. You find different ways to protect yourself. She's talking about with the fame and all the spotlight. Here's what she has to say about Harry. He loves me so boldly, so fully. And he has a different perspective because he sees media that I wouldn't. No one in the world loves me.
The harshest moment came when the animated interviewer praised Meghan with lines almost identical to the Harper's Bazaar article. But instead of admiring her, the cartoon audience just looked confused. That scene alone showed the writers understood the real issue. Her interview wasn't connecting with people, only with her own PR image. And that was what hurt her the most.
Meghan, your friends are so interesting. You have a lovely home.
Yes, it's Buckingham Palace, you fucking idiot. What a stupid thing to say.
Jesus. These are my girlfriends.
What are you, in high school? Camilla, stop slurping.
She's sorry, Mummy. The camera loves you, darling.
Inside Meghan's inner circle, panic spread even faster than the South Park episode. Sources say she felt personally attacked, not by the cartoon itself, but by the fact that millions suddenly viewed her Harper's Bazaar interview as a joke. She reportedly said the writers twisted her message and couldn't understand how something meant to be empowering had turned into a global punchline.
Why are we so mad today? Because we want our privacy.
Park County Police Station, what's your emergency?
Yeah, the neighbors across the street are setting off fireworks and it's 10:30 at night.
Oh, is it the Prince of Canada and his wife who just want to be left alone?
Yes, they're being super loud and I'm trying to work on my brand.
One source says Meghan walked around her home repeating, "Why would they do this? Why now?" As if the timing were part of a plot. But the truth was simpler. The parody went viral because it echoed what many people already felt, and she wasn't ready for that. Her team tried to calm her, but the atmosphere kept getting worse. They reportedly told her not to respond publicly, since any reaction would draw even more attention to the parody. Silence was the only option, but silence made her look powerless. And Meghan hates appearing powerless more than anything.
There's Meghan on the cover of Harper's. I'm just going to say it. She doesn't look good. She looks sad. She's makeupless, which I'm sorry, but it's not good. She needs some eyeliner. The eyes are too close together and she looks forlorn. I didn't actually ever realize how much work that eyeliner is doing on her. And here's just a little bit from the cover piece.
The real breakdown began when she found out late night hosts were joining in, adding more jokes and more screenshots comparing her actual Harper's Bazaar photo shoot to the South Park version.
Could it be a mystery for the ages?
The humiliation kept spreading, but the real problem wasn't the jokes. It was the fact that others in Hollywood were watching her fall apart.
The Sussexes have copped from comedian Colin Just on Saturday Night Live.
Hollywood may smile in public, but behind closed doors, executives are ruthless, and nothing scares them more than a celebrity turning into a meme. When the South Park parody hit, several producers, brand partners, and streaming executives reportedly watched it to figure out the issue. They weren't checking whether Meghan was treated unfairly. They were checking whether she had become radioactive. In Hollywood terms, being mocked by South Park is a warning sign. It means the public is annoyed, the image is overdone, and the celebrity is slipping into self-parody.
Mercilessly skewered the pomposity and absurdity, actually, of the Duke and Duchess, as you quite rightly say. And, what they did, I think, really well in this episode.
One insider even said that if South Park targets you, the audience is already halfway gone. Executives also reviewed the Harper's Bazaar interview itself and questioned why it felt so staged and emotionally heavy. Some wondered whether Meghan's team understood that American audiences prefer authenticity over poetic speeches. A few even questioned if Meghan was trapped in a cycle of reinvention, each version louder than the last.
Meghan Markle interview. She is one of the most disliked known figures. She has nothing new going on.
Worse, some in the industry started predicting that other comedy shows might copy South Park's approach. late-night hosts were already making jokes. TikTok creators were dissecting the photo shoot, and YouTube commentators were posting long breakdowns. That's the nightmare scenario, when the entire entertainment world starts using you for clicks. Hollywood hates unpredictability, and Meghan had suddenly become exactly that. What made executives even more uneasy was the next phase, because social media was just starting to heat up. For most celebrities, a South Park parody is a short embarrassment, but for Meghan, it hit differently, because it targeted her biggest weakness.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The public no longer buys her story. The Harper's Bazaar interview was supposed to reset her image and show maturity, stability, maybe even growth. Instead, the parody exposed how fragile her narrative is. Her biggest issue is overexposure. Meghan has repeated her story so many times through Oprah, Spotify, Netflix, magazines, and books that people feel they already know every version of it. When she releases a new interview, the reaction isn't curiosity anymore. It's déjà vu.
Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, even though we appear to be the only other two people in the house. And we thought the constant monogramming of everything with her initials was bad.
South Park didn't create the public's exhaustion, they just showed it in the loudest, funniest way. Then there's the credibility issue. The Harper's Bazaar interview used dramatic language to describe ordinary moments, throwing around words like rebirth, destiny, and misunderstood. It sounded less like a real person speaking and more like a motivational poster from someone unwilling to admit fault. South Park mocked this perfectly. The big speeches, the heroic self-image, the need to be seen as a victim and a visionary at the same time. Another problem is brand damage. Meghan has spent years trying to present herself as a serious public figure, someone thoughtful and important, maybe even historic. But the parody pushed her into a different category, a celebrity who tries too hard. Once the public starts viewing someone as a meme, reversing that is almost impossible.
Meghan, throughout this piece, there's also at the very end, she says Meghan is remarkably at ease with the surrealism of global celebrity. In fact, she seems to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a bit.
The issue Meghan fears most is that this scandal won't fade. It sticks. South Park parodies stay online forever. Clips get reposted for years, and memes never disappear. Every time she tries to launch something new, people will drag up the parody, compare it to her latest interview, and laugh again. Long-term, the Harper's Bazaar interview was meant to start a new chapter, but it may have closed the door she needed most. And while Meghan took the main hit, the South Park parody didn't spare Prince Harry either. In the episode, he wasn't shown as a villain, but as something worse, a confused bystander in his own life. The cartoon Harry follows Meghan everywhere, repeats her slogans, mirrors her moods, and reacts like someone who lost control of his own story. When the real Harry saw the clips or heard about them, insiders say he felt uneasy, not angry, just unsettled. Because the cartoon wasn't far from what the public has been saying for years, that Harry isn't acting independently anymore, and that he has become part of Meghan's brand, not the other way around.
You might be looking at Meghan Markle saying, well, she's in Harper's Bazaar, she's in a big magazine. Sweetie, this is a major downgrade from being British royalty.
This hit even harder because the Harper's Bazaar interview barely mentioned Harry, yet South Park still included him. Why? Because the public sees them as a single package. Even when Meghan tries to stand on her own, Harry gets pulled into the story. And with the parody going viral, his image took another hit at a moment when he needed stability. Polls already show him losing support on both sides of the Atlantic. For many viewers, the South Park episode confirmed what they suspected: Harry is no longer seen as the bold prince who broke free, but as someone drifting in a story he doesn't control. That is what worries their advisors the most. Once the public starts seeing a man as a meme instead of a leader, rebuilding trust becomes nearly impossible. And Meghan and Harry weren't the only ones panicking. Their entire PR team went into emergency mode the moment the South Park episode dominated headlines. This wasn't the kind of scandal you can bury with a friendly interview or a polished statement. Comedy spreads faster, lasts longer, and tears down image-building efforts that take months to construct.
on Bravo, what do you feel about Meghan Markle copying you? And so Pamela, as you know, has gone barefaced over the last few years, and it's gotten her a lot of positive attention.
Within hours, Meghan's advisors were reportedly on emergency calls trying to figure out how to contain the damage. The first plan was simple: stay silent. Silence can work when a scandal burns out fast, but this one wasn't fading. South Park clips were already trending on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and even Facebook. Ignoring the storm risked letting the parody define the Harper's Bazaar interview forever. The second idea was more aggressive: push new positive stories. Some suggested releasing unseen photos from the Bazaar shoot to shift attention, while others wanted to pitch soft interviews to friendly outlets to highlight Meghan's humanitarian work. But several advisors shut it down immediately. Anything released now, they warned, would look like desperate damage control, and that would make the mockery spread even faster.
We're in a grand brownstone to the Upper East Side that belongs to one of Meghan's friends. When I enter, the house manager announces, "Meghan, Duchess of Sussex," even though we appear to be the only other two people in the house.
The third idea was the riskiest: Meghan responding to the parody herself. But this option terrified everyone. Responding to South Park almost always ends badly for celebrities. It signals to the public that the joke landed. And once people know their laughter affects you, they only laugh harder.
Successful lifestyle brand as ever. We sold out of everything in 45 minutes. Amazing. You've been working so hard. Oh my gosh, I worked so hard. I worked very hard, and I'm still working very hard. It's just not for the royal family. Yet, I still insist on being called Her Royal Highness.
According to one insider, the mood in Meghan's circle was tense and almost stunned. They didn't know what was worse: the parody itself or what it exposed. The Harper's Bazaar interview hadn't connected with the audience the way Meghan expected. Behind the scenes, the team tried to plan the next 30 days, what to say, what to avoid, and how to shift the narrative without looking reactive. But the biggest fear wasn't the parody, the tweets, or the late-night jokes. The real worry was that another media outlet had already started digging into the Harper's Bazaar interview, and they were preparing to release something Meghan truly didn't want revealed.
She puts her hand on her heart when she talks about her husband. He loves me so boldly, fully, and he also has a different perspective because he sees media that I wouldn't. No one in the world loves me more than him. So I know he's always going to make sure that he has my back.
Just as Meghan's team was trying to contain the damage, something even more alarming surfaced. A major U.S. outlet, one she once considered friendly, was reportedly preparing a follow-up piece on the Harper's Bazaar interview. Not a puff piece, not a profile, but a deeper investigation. Early whispers said the outlet had contacted people involved in the photo shoot, including stylists, assistants, and someone familiar with the editorial process. They wanted to know how the interview was shaped, why the tone felt so dramatic, and whether Meghan pushed for certain narrative angles. One insider even claimed they asked why the writing sounded less like journalism and more like a manifesto. That alone sent shockwaves through her PR team. If South Park made the interview look dramatic, a behind-the-scenes investigation could make it look manipulated. And if that story drops, the Harper's Bazaar piece won't be remembered as a comeback. It'll be seen as another example of overproduced image control. Even worse, the South Park writers hinted in a podcast that they might revisit Meghan if more material appears. That one comment set off alarms because becoming a punchline is bad, but becoming a recurring one is a nightmare. When South Park turns you into a character, you don't escape it. You live next to it. Every new interview gets compared to it. Every photoshoot becomes a potential joke, and every reinvention becomes a reminder. That's why insiders say Meghan's reaction wasn't just anger, it was fear. Fear that the Harper's Bazaar interview, meant to restart her public image, may have become the moment that trapped her in a reputation she can't control anymore. And now, as she waits for the next headline and the next joke, she faces the question she hoped she'd never confront. How do you rebuild an image when the world has already decided what the punchline is?